I wish that in school we were taught to create just as much as we are taught to learn. Because through creating, we learn. We learn about our strengths, our weaknesses, our powers, and then we grow. And we create even more. We create better and more of who we are. And each time that we create, we deposit something real into the universe instead of following trends of society, which only leads to unacceptance and confusion. There is pride in creating, inspiration in creating, humility in creating, sharing in creating, freedom in creating, love in creating. Even when your creation differs from the next man's, creativity is unique. It doesn't have to follow an order. It just has to come from the heart. And that is more valuable than any lesson taught in school. Creativity is an expression of divinity. When we create, we operate from our God power. Whatever feels natural, whatever feels right, whatever comes with ease in the form of an idea, it is your birthright. And the ability to visualize is the foundation of creation. When we visualize what we are passionate about, when we visualize using the gifts bestowed upon us by God, we create authentically. And when you create something real, you reveal parts of your real self. And when you reveal your real self, you align with your higher self, embodying the God within, exuding your power as the co-creator. What if I told you that every human being is an energetic being, continuously creating, shaping, and influencing the world around them, even when they don't realize it? What if I told you that your life is not happening to you, but it is happening through you? We live in a world full of distractions, noise, and expectations. And like from the moment we are born, we are told what success looks like, how we should behave, what we should value. We're taught to trust authority instead of trust our intuition, to avoid risk instead of exploring possibilities, to repeat what exists instead of create what doesn't, to follow instruction instead of follow inspiration. But what we are not taught in school, in college, or sometimes even at home is the power of our own energy, the power of self-love, the power of creation. And the truth is this: when you understand your own energy, you understand your own potential and ultimately your power to create. When we stop creating, we stop hearing ourselves. We disconnect from our intuition. We disconnect from our God source. And that is why so many people feel lost. That is why so many people feel numb and stuck. And I know this because I lived it. For 7 years, I poured myself into being a stay-at-home mom and wife. And I love my family infinitely and deeply. But in that role, I slowly started to disappear. My creativity went silent. My voice went quiet. My energy dimmed itself just to make sure that everyone else had light. And I didn't even realize how far I drifted away from myself until one day I just couldn't take it anymore because I felt stuck, like I was suffocating. I cried profusely, like literally every other day. And in a moment of stillness, I felt something. It was like a shift, a spark, a memory of the woman I was before. The world needed so much from me before my family demanded so much from me. And then I remembered that I am the storyteller. I am the performer. I am the writer. I am the poet. I am the creator. I am the inspirational speaker. And the moment that I remembered her, my energy shifted. My life shifted. My relationship with myself shifted. And I realized the parts of me that I thought were gone were simply waiting for me to be chosen again. So I started writing again. I started speaking. I started dreaming. I started visualizing the life that I wanted, not the life that I felt stuck in. And that's when I understood that most people are not living from their center or even a place of love. They're living out of fear, survival, comparison, from programs handed to them by a world that benefits when they are disconnected. And guess what? A disconnected person is easily influenced, easily discouraged, easily controlled and manipulated. But an awakened person, a person who understands that they are a creator, a person who knows that their ideas, visions, and intuition are divine tools, that person becomes unstoppable. And it all starts with the vision. Everything begins with a vision. Everything. Before anything can exist physically, it exists energetically as a thought, a feeling, or an image. And the ability to see what does not exist is one of the greatest tools a human being can possess. But most people never learn how to use it. We are taught to memorize, not imagine, to follow, not create, to absorb information instead of generate innovation. But the world that we want, the life that we desire, our dream life, our purpose, our breakthrough, that begins in the unseen, in the unknown. So visualization is not pretending, it is participating in your own becoming. And to participate in your own becoming requires you to love yourself completely. You cannot create at your highest level from a place of self-rejection. When you love yourself, you expand, you attract differently, you speak differently, you move differently, you dream differently. Self-love is not indulgence, it is alignment. And aligned people create, they build, they inspire, they elevate everyone around them. And this is the ripple effect of an awakened individual. When one person wakes up to their power, they unconsciously give permission for others to do the same. Because awakening, it is contagious. Energy is contagious. Confidence is contagious. Authenticity is contagious. Hello, look at me. And one awakened individual becomes a lighthouse, and then another lights up, and another, and so on and so on. This is how the culture shifts. This is how communities transform. This is how generations heal. Not by force, but by alignment. Because everything, I mean everything, is energy. Energy is not just a metaphor. It is a lived experience. You feel it all the time. You feel it when an idea lights up in your spirit, when a dream pulls at your chest, when you walk into a room and shift the atmosphere, when your creativity flows like it's moving through you. That is creation. That is alignment. That is power. And you are energy before you are anything else. Your thoughts are energy. Your emotions are energy. Your intentions are energy. Your creations are energy in motion. And every time that you create, every time you take an idea from your mind and bring it into this world, you activate your divine identity. When you create something real, you inspire someone else to create something real. When you step into your power, you give permission for someone else to step into their own. Because guess what? Human beings are mirrors. Everyone you meet is a reflection of yourself. Your alignment awakens alignment in others. And guess what? Once a human being becomes aware of their power, they become unstoppable. And unstoppable people change the world, not by force, but again, by alignment, by example. So I want you to remember one thing. You are not just a person, you are a creator, a vessel of energy, a carrier of life, a carrier of lights, a co-author in the story of your own existence. Your ideas are not random, they are reminders. Your dreams are not illusions or too far-fetched, they are instructions. And your creativity, in whatever form it takes, whatever that may be, it is the universe expressing itself through you. So create. I beg you, create. Create from your heart, create from your center, create from your passions, create from your purpose, and trust your energy. Honor your vision, because when we create, we see ourselves. And when we see ourselves, we love ourselves. And when we love ourselves, we activate the energy that God has placed within us. And the moment that spark is lit, baby, we become unstoppable. Your life is your creation. Your energy is your paintbrush. And your God power, the power to visualize, to imagine, to breathe life into your ideas, is always waiting for you to pick it right back up. So please, create boldly. Create honestly. Create from your soul. Because when you do, you're not just changing your own life. You're changing the world around you. And remember, when you awaken your power, you awaken the world. I promise.